We're at an entirely new place today, Blue Diamond Hill. And there are quite the series of trails in this area. Yeah, about invasive weeds. Let's see. This is going to be interesting. There's a small hill, and I think we're going to head around that direction first. There's the horseback riding area. There's Blue Diamond Hill. What we're going to do is a large circuit around Blue Diamond Hill. First time we've been here, want to get the larger view of the area. Now, Blue Diamond Hill is kind of interesting in that it's, yeah, you can see the horse tracks here. So this is actually a horse trail I'm on right now. Blue Diamond Hill, I'm going to call the Unski Hill. There are a number of different trails here on the hill. And so, in a way, it's kind of like a ski slope in that you've got trails named things like Bob Gnarly, Bone Shaker, Skull Canyon, Radio Tower, Overlook Ridge. These are the kind of names that you might hear on a ski run. The only difference, one of the major differences is, as you can see, there's no snow. Well, who travels these ski runs? Or not unski runs. It's mountain bikers. And, of course, horseback riders. And so I'll be dodging those today, trying to stay out of their way, but at the same time, experiencing some of these unski runs on Blue Diamond Hill. So, yeah, we're going to start out, we're going to do a large circuit, and I'm going to start out with this smaller hill. We'll circle around it, and then we're going to head up the Voyage / Muffin trail or run. So, yeah, I want to get a large view of Blue Diamond Hill. Another interesting thing about Blue Diamond Hill is that it's got a couple caves. And so at some point we'll explore those caves. It may take a few weeks to really get to know Blue Diamond Hill. So let's get going. Okay, now we're at a higher point where we can look around. There you see the Rainbow Mountains. We're looking into Red Rock Canyon. White Rock Mountain straight ahead. And then those cliffs behind, Keystone Thrust Cliffs, La Madre Mountains, Turtlehead Peak, the Calico Hills, and behind the Calico Hills, towering up behind is Damsel Peak. And there's Summerlin Ridge in the distance. And then here's Small Hill before Blue Diamond Hill. So we're going to circle around this small hill. We're on horse trails here, definitely. I can usually go faster than horses, and the horses haven't started out yet, so I think I'm going to be able to manage staying separate from the horses today. Then we dodge mountain bikes a little later. So, yeah, here's the visitor center at Red Rock Canyon. Another thing about Blue Diamond Hill is that it is half recreational and half commercial. There is a gypsum mining operation on the western end of Blue Diamond Hill. And let's see, what else can we see here? We looked at the Rainbow Mountains. Here's Potosi Mountain. So all the familiar high points around us, but this is a very unfamiliar area. It is on the last Saturday in January, and wow, the temperature is 31 degrees. At least it was when I started out. It may get up to around 50, 55 today. So anyway, let's continue on and see what we can find. I want to circle around this little hill and then head up. There's a run called Bomb Voyage / Muffin. That'll be the first run that we hit as we do this outer circuit of Blue Diamond Hill, and then we'll hit the Overlook Ridge run and so on. I don't know if these are marked. I looked at a map beforehand to get some names, so we may not know exactly which run we are on, but this should be really interesting. It's a new area. Well, I hope I didn't get too much off track. Going through a wash here, and here are some of the hills. This is the small hill that I saw on the map, and it looked like trails circled around. As I progress on this horse trail, I'm reminded of those old Western movies where something happens to the horse and the cowboy ends up walking. Looks totally out of place, bow-legged, trying to walk. And that's me right now, except I am running. Okay, yeah. There's Blue Diamond Hill, another perspective. So we're going to see where the entrance points are. The Bon Voyage trail should actually be taking us up somewhere in that area, just to the right of the sunrise. We'll find out. So far, no horses. They haven't started out yet today, so I don't have to dodge horses. Yeah, this is very different. If you've been in Red Rock Canyon, you've seen a certain kind of landscape. This looks, in a way, like a different world from Red Rock Canyon. So yeah, now we're heading toward Blue Diamond Hill, and we're going to see where there is some route that's going to take us up those cliffs, and that would be the Bon Voyage / Muffin trail. So far I haven't seen any markings on anything, so we just have to kind of guess where we are. Okay, we've circled around this first small hill, and there's the horseback riding operation up in this area. And then another perspective of Blue Diamond Hill, and what we need to do is find the route up to the top of those cliffs. That should be interesting. I think it should be in this direction here, and I see a gully. So, hey, let's just see what happens. Okay, this is interesting. I found a little trail that is off the horse riding circuit, and I see tracks of mountain bikes. So maybe we're heading in a direction that's going to take us up. to the upper edge of those high points there on Blue Diamond Hill. We don't know. May need to trace my way back. The thing is, before the day's out, I'm gonna at least have an introduction to Blue Diamond Hill and maybe all the places you don't want to go before I find the one that is actually going to be the golden route up to the summit here, these cliffs. Looks a little bit steep ahead of me, so I don't think the route would be up this way. It might be up that gully between those two high points, or it might be around the edge here. Let's go around the edge and see what we can see. Definitely on a mountain bike trail. These don't look like dirt bike tracks. And we're looking up the cliffs here. And hopefully there's going to be a way around the end and on up. If not, we can always retrace our way. But this definitely, now we're in mountain bike country. We've left horseback country. Well, I believe I'm achieving the goal of doing a huge outer circuit of Blue Diamond Hill. And there's Blue Diamond Hill. And this little trail, for mountain bikers mostly, is leading around the hill. Maybe there will be a way up, maybe not. If not, I'll retrace my way back. But we'll know more about this end of Blue Diamond Hill, where it leads. There you see Red Rock Canyon Visitor Center. Calico Hills, Damsel Peak. Yeah, not many people travel in this area, so very curious to see where it leads and if there is a way that circles around and goes up Blue Diamond Hill, or if we're going to turn around and head back the way we came and look for another route upward. Onward. At the least we're getting a new perspective on the whole area. There's Mount Wilson, Rainbow Mountain in the Rainbow Mountains, and you can see behind the Upper Crest Ridgeline. And we continue to trace that over to Bridge Mountain. And here's Buffalo Wall. Now we're looking at the Keystone Thrust Cliffs. In the foreground, White Rock Mountain. There, I believe, is El Bastardo, the upper cliff line there. El Padre, La Madre, Calico Hills in the foreground. Damsel Peak. And here's a good shot of Summerland Ridge. And then looking over across the Las Vegas Valley. So that gives you an idea where we are. Let's see what happens as I continue to circle around this very wide berth of Blue Diamond Hill. Okay, we are way off course for Blue Diamond Hill, which is over there. But what have we discovered? This very good mountain biking, walking trail that I think is going to lead to the Red Rock Canyon Campground area. And if you're camping in the Red Rock Canyon Campground area, you could take this trail toward Blue Diamond Hill and hopefully hit the trail system that goes up into the hills, which is what we're going to do now. We're going to head back. There's that little hill that we circled in the beginning, and we'll find that entrance. But this is interesting. As you head up toward Red Rock Canyon from Summerlin, you notice a number of cars parked to your left, and I think that a lot of them are probably, a lot of the people there are accessing this mountain biking and trail system from down in that area. So yeah, here again is Blue Diamond Hill, and we're going to go ahead. It doesn't look like there are any, well, there's some steep climbing possibilities to get to the summit, and I think what we're looking up there on the rim there is that overlook ridge area. So we're going to circle around this direction and then head up one of those gullies that we saw earlier. So here we go. And by the way, from what I've seen, there is a huge network of mountain biking and hiking trails in this general area on this side of Blue Diamond Mountain, basically between Summerlin and Blue Diamond Mountain. And that's something I'll want to explore at some point. But for now, let's head back toward Blue Diamond Mountain and find the route up to the ridge overlook. Okay, we're back at the horse trail where we diverged and headed off toward, on this mountain bike trail, toward the Red Rock Campground. Now, one thing this tells me is that if you're staying at the campground, I think you've got this great mountain bike trail that'll take you all the way to, hopefully, the trail system on Blue Diamond Hill. And there we're looking for an entrance to the upper area. So let's get back on this horse trail slash mountain bike trail and just see where this might lead and where the split off might be that takes us up toward Blue Diamond Hill. So here we go. Okay, horse trail below, and we've diverged to this mountain bike trail that's above that canyon. Let's just see where this goes. If there's a trail that connects to the Blue Diamond trail system for mountain bikes, I bet it could be this trail. Let's find out. Okay, this looks like an important intersection. And what we're seeing here is there's the Cowboy Horse Riding outfit down that way. We are on, and Rainbow Mountains in the background. We're on a trail that, if you were camping at the Red Rock Campground area, you could ride your mountain bike to this point. Now, it looks to me like something is heading off up into the Blue Diamond Mountain area right here. So we're going to take this and just see where it leads. So if you were coming from below, maybe you would take this fork and then head in this direction. We'll find out. If it's a false trail, then we'll retrace our way. This is a discovery day for Blue Diamond Hill. As I thought, we'd be into a lot of rabbit trails here that are unmarked and a lot of discovery. Anyway, looks like the main trail heads up this direction, and there's another trail that looks like it's heading up this hill in the foreground. So we're going to take what I think is the main trail and see where it goes. Okay, a little more insight. Looks like that trail is split off and headed up this ridge we saw just a moment ago. That is Bone Shaker. And this is Muffin / Bomb Voyage. So I guess when you're getting ready to head up into Blue Diamond Hill, it's Bomb Voyage for you. Okay, you can see where the trail winds around and up this ridge. So yeah, we're definitely on the Blue Diamond Trail system. And again, if you headed up this ridge, you'd be on Bone Shaker. Instead, if you take this outer ridge, I see a few people up here. It's a good running trail, actually. This outer ridge is going to be Muffin and Bomb Voyage. Okay, one thing about this area. Yeah, this trail system is fairly gradual, and I think in part because mountain bikers use it. But we're heading up the Muffin Trail right now. When we hit the top, I think we're just going to keep to our left. See if we can make a big circuit of the Blue Diamond Hill area. Give you an idea where we are here. Yeah, Bone Shaker Ridge up there. And look at how much we've ascended. There's Red Rock Canyon. And you can see the Calico Hills below us and Damsel Peak. Then over this way, the La Madre Mountains. And actually, El Padre on the left, La Madre on the right. There you go. And between is what we call the Notch, which is a southern approach route to La Madre and El Padre Mountain from the Calico Basin, Brownstone Basin area. Okay. Let's continue discovering Blue Diamond Hill on the Muffin Trail. I hope I don't get tired on the Muffin Trail. That would be really embarrassing. Well, I'm loving this place already. Yeah, this Blue Diamond Hill, great for trail running and mountain biking. Great trails up here. And you can see right here, this one is Muffin is switchbacking and taking you gradually up to the upper ridge area. Here's where we just came from. So yeah, very amazing. Love these trails. Okay, in this initial exploration, as I see all the split off trails, there's one that's going down and around. I'm going to stay to the left and try to stay to the outer rim of these trails. And again, the goal for today is to make a wide circuit around the perimeter of Blue Diamond Hill. Not sure about some of these ledges on a mountain bike. Maybe we've left Muffin and we're on Bomb Voyage. Who knows? One thing I can say is yes, we are getting a lot of altitude quickly. Seeing more of the Rainbow Mountains coming into view. Here's Blue Diamond Hill. Rising sun. And Muffin / Bon Voyage trail. There's a little feature we saw from below, which looks like that could be where Overlook Ridge starts. We don't know. All we know is we're winding around upward on this Muffin / Bon Voyage trail. And there you can see the ridge line of Blue Diamond Mountain and more of the Rainbow Mountains. We're going to get some awesome shots of the Rainbow Mountains before the day's out. Down to Red Rock Canyon Visitor Center. So give a perspective of where we are, Calico Hills, Keystone Thrust with the La Madre Mountains. So onward up this winding trail. Pretty substantial incline here. Feels kind of like the South Climb Trail in the Mount Charleston Wilderness, or for that matter, Trail Canyon Trail in places, but there are a lot of places where things level out. I still can't see where a person would take this on a mountain bike. I do see tracks now and then, but wow, if you go off track here, yeah, you're going down into the gully and there's no soft landings down there. Okay, onward. One thing I can say from my view of this hill from up above Mount Wilson, there's Mount Wilson in the center there. There's the ridge above Mount Wilson, the Rainbow Mountains Upper Crest Ridge. You get views of Blue Diamond Hill, and I can say that once you reach a summit here, it's going to be leveling off and also downhill around the other side. So that's an encouraging thing. It's actually not too bad. It's probably still Muffin. A couple weeks ago, I was on the Red Rock Canyon Grand Circle Trail, and you can see the whole circle below us. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on up this trail. It looks like we are approaching a high point, but who knows? Okay, approaching the rocky outcrop we saw from below at a high point, and I'm thinking this may be where the Overlook Ridge trail begins. We don't know for sure, but we're getting somewhere. And so we're on Muffin / Bon Voyage. There's a cool view of the Rainbow Mountains, and then you can see the White Cap Mountains. You're looking toward the Mount Charleston Wilderness and Griffith Peak area. And if you look closely on the right, I think that's Mummy Mountain. On the left, maybe Harris Mountain, Griffith Peak area, but I think that Griffith Peak is a little more to the left there. So yeah, We're getting an awesome view already. Can't wait till we get to that overlook ridge, because there we will have a awesome 360-degree view with the Las Vegas Valley on one side, the Rainbow Mountains on the other. By the way, here we have Potosi Mountain coming into view. I think the summit is about 8,500 feet. Okay, onward. As we break into the light here, you can see a change in plant life. A lot of cacti around us. Joshua trees, yucca plants, a lot more plant life than below, which gets a lot of shade. And some huge barrel cacti. Okay, onward. View's getting more and more incredible. We're getting close to that ridge. And now coming into view, there down below is Calico Basin. There's residential area down there. And then over to the Las Vegas Valley. And in fact, just on the left side of this rock here in the foreground, you look carefully, you can see in the haze the Las Vegas Strip. Probably better view in the evening. Another panorama. High point on the very edge of the cliff. And I'm sure this is just the beginning of the views we're going to be seeing from Blue Diamond Hill. Some of these rocks up here look like what you'd see on an ancient shoreline. You can almost see waves splashing against them, barnacles growing on them, nautilus swimming around. And I wouldn't be surprised, based on the general area here, if this were at one time underwater. But not being a geologist, I can't say for sure. All I can say is, yes, these do look suspiciously like rocks that you would see on a shoreline. Onward. Okay, coming into view, the radio tower of Radio Tower Hill. There it is. Okay, quick 360. We are approaching what must be Overlook Ridge. And some of the trails on the map. Our second finger and first finger, which I think are these ridges below us. There are a couple ridges. And then you've got Skull Canyon, Cowboy Canyon, Fossil Canyon below the ridge system. And yeah, you're looking at the background the Rainbow Mountains, Calico Hills, Damsel Peak, Summerland Ridge. Let's get a closer look. There's Damsel Peak. And here's Summerland Ridge. And then, yeah, you can see Lone Mountain below. And I think part of, yeah, you can see Lone Mountain and Cheyenne Mountain. Cheyenne Mountain on the left, Lone Mountain on the right. And then looking down into the Las Vegas Valley. So this is a view of where we are, the upper area of Blue Diamond Hill. Got a little more ascent to do, but not as much as we've done. And here's a shot of Gas Peak. Pretty rugged up here. Okay, things are beginning to break up here, and we need to get over to Radio Tower Hill, which is that ridge straight ahead. And I'm thinking that the trail actually dives down into this area and then reascends, and maybe that's Overlook Ridge over there. We don't know. But we know that the radio tower is straight over in this direction. And looking at the big picture, I would imagine once we arrived at Radio Tower, right up there, that we will then begin to descend this ridge line, making our large circle of Blue Diamond Mountain. You see Rainbow Mountains in the background. And maybe that's Overlook Ridge over there. We don't know. Las Vegas Strip straight down in this direction. See the stratosphere on the left. The other casinos all the way down to the southern part, the southern end of the Las Vegas Strip. And there, looking back, I just noticed Griffith Peak is now in sight. So Griffith Peak, Mummy Mountain. We're going to look at Griffith Peak first, and then we'll look to the right for Mummy Mountain. There's Griffith Peak. Mummy Mountain. One thing I'll say about these Blue Diamond trail system is that you are never alone. There are other hikers. And I've seen a number of hiking groups on this trail system, so if you like to know that there are other people around, this is a good place to be. You probably don't want to be on the Rainbow Mountains Upper Crest Ridgeline or the far reaches of Mummy Mountain in the wilderness, but this is maybe your spot. Some good challenging trails here. And yeah, as far as the time of year, as I mentioned, it's January, and during the summer you'd be looking at 110 degrees and above in this area. So late fall through early spring is the time to be on Blue Diamond Mountain. You'll remember the main trail went up this ridge in the foreground, and then we dipped down and then up to the next area, heading toward Radio Tower. But in the meantime, decided to take a little detour up that opposite ridge. And this looks like a good candidate for Overlook Ridge, but we just don't know. Awesome view down into the Las Vegas Valley. You see the strip in the center there? And then Frenchman Mountain and Sunrise Mountain. Frenchman Mountain, Sunrise Mountain. And Lake Mead is just beyond those. In fact, you can see over the strip if you look carefully. It's in the haze. You can see a portion of Lake Mead. A little bit of blue there. And then below, looks like a housing area. Little residential area. We don't know. Then there's Gas Peak. And Summerland Ridge in the foreground, and beyond it and above is the Sheep Range. Yeah, you get off the main trail in this area and you've got the total wilderness solitude feeling. There you can see the Rainbow Mountains. Potosi Mountain. Okay, onward. And below us, if you look carefully, there is a long ridge system in the Fort Apache Road area, the end of Fort Apache Road. Long ridge system. Looks like there's some trails along the top of that system. We'll check that out at some point. And then there's this feature just below us. high point, and it is just above that aqueduct or drainage reservoir in the Summerlin area. It's where a lot of people park and go hiking, and I imagine they're hiking on this little ridge system. So we'll look at that hill at some point, see what's up there. Well, I stopped here a while, looked around, and it's amazing the discoveries you make when you just sit still and observe where you are. So yeah, the Red Rock Campground is actually down in this area. That's the Red Rock Campground. And then you can see a larger perspective of the Las Vegas metro area expanding into the hills. There's the edge right at Summerlin. You see all these areas that have been graded, getting ready for the next set of developments. And then looking up this direction, there's Little Red Rock. Got a page on that on Las Vegas Area Trails. And a little bit more here as I look at these rocks I've been sitting on. They are filled with fossils. Let's take a closer look. Here's a few good ones. Okay, we're back where we made that little ridge detour, and we headed up this ridge here, looked around, found the fossils, and now we're back on the main trail. And we're heading up toward the radio tower. Can't see it right now, but you will soon. Very beautiful rock formations right in this area. Looking back where the lighting is at its very best, there's that ridge we were on a moment ago. And then the white caps of the Charleston peaks. And that high one on the left, Griffith Peak. And then over on the right, Mummy Mountain. And then you can see the line of the Rainbow Mountains. There we're looking straight at Mount Wilson. Well, no, that's Rainbow Mountain. And there's Mount Wilson. And then we may be looking at Mountain Springs Peak right up there. Not entirely sure. But below it would be, if that is it, below it would be Hidden Peak and Monument Peak. Well, I'm going to make a wild guess that we are on Overlook Ridge right now, and we're headed toward the radio tower. And the radio tower is above Maverick Helicopters, and that's where we take a right and begin to circle around back down Blue Diamond Hill. Okay, approaching Radio Tower of Radio Tower Hill, except, wouldn't you know it, there's another radio tower down that way. So maybe it's a hill with numerous radio towers, or maybe the real radio tower is below. We don't know, but this is the highest one. So let's go to this radio tower and then begin our downward trek around and back to our starting point. So on top of Overlook Ridge, Blue Diamond Hill, and wow, what a view from up here. Here's some views you don't often see. Cactus in the foreground, Las Vegas Strip in the background. Up here on Overlook Ridge, no matter what direction your life has gone, be assured this cactus here has probably been slowly growing the whole time, and will be here long after we are, overlooking Las Vegas and the Strip and all the changes that have occurred over the years. Okay, onward to Radio Tower Hill. Okay, here we are at the radio tower and close to Maverick helicopters. In fact, that operation is right over in this direction, and you can see the windsock if you look carefully. Maverick helicopters. And there we have the private side of Blue Diamond Hill. You see some of the gypsum mining operations, and we'll be heading down. We'll be looking for a trail that heads down this direction. I think I see it. It's between the radio towers. There's another radio tower below us. I believe there's a trail between where we are standing and that other radio tower. We shall see. There's Rainbow Mountains. What an awesome view. Mount Charleston Wilderness. Griffith Peak. Harris Mountain. Mummy Mountain. And then over to Calico Basin, Calico Hills, Red Rock Park, and then up above is El Padre Mountain on the left, La Madre on the right, and the notch between, which is the southern approach. And let's look around up here as much as we can. And there's a kind of memorial. We'll have to go visit that, see what it is. So here you see the surroundings from the radio tower. There's a good 360-degree view from the radio tower. So let's continue on the trail, see where it takes us. More amazing pillars. No memorial, just a cairn. Very well constructed too. On this very high point, Las Vegas Strip, behind a little to the left. Okay, there's the upper radio tower. Let's head down to the lower radio tower and then on down beyond that and circle around. There you can see Mount Wilson in the center. To the right is Oak Creek Canyon and then Rainbow Mountain. To the left is First Creek Canyon. Okay, down we go. Here we are at the lower radio tower. I've got a sneaking suspicion that Radio Tower Hill, which I should be on, is the hill that descends from the upper radio tower along this ridge. The lower I get, the further off I get. So I just may traverse over to that ridge and head down that ridge and see, whoops, that ridge, and see what happens. Yeah, here's another little verification that I needed to be on that ridge that slopes downward from the upper radio tower, is that I had left the Red Rock Canyon boundary. So yeah, let's take that ridge down, see where it takes us. And what do you know, we're on a little trail again. So yeah, good choice. Don't go down toward the lower radio tower and down that ridge, but take this ridge from the upper radio tower. Okay, so let's reconnect with the ridge and see if there's a trail going downward. However, looking below that of the radio tower, I do see another trail across the ridge there that may be the trail I want to be on, but you know, I just don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and stick to this side and this ridge and we'll just see where it leads. Okay, best of both worlds. That little trail that I was on that upper ridge over there, coming down from the radio tower, actually led to this trail that I saw below. So I am going to bet, and here I am back at the lower radio tower. I was just there. I'm going to bet that this is the direction I want to be going. This is part of the large outer circuit of the Blue Diamond Mountain area. So far I believe we have been on track to make a large circuit, and we've kept on the outer perimeter of the Blue Diamond Hill areas. Definitely descending this canyon, only we're on the upper ridge. Now you see the trail circling around on the ridge and not going down into the wash, which is nice because the going will be a lot better up here. Anyway, yeah, we're on to something. I know there's a trail called Cat in the Hat, and there's another trail called Kibbles and Bits when you get down to the highway area. So we may be on Cat in the Hat right now. We don't know. This could be the radio tower trail. And I know there's an SARS trail. So who knows? We'll just have to see what's ahead. And I can see the trail circling around there and heading down. So we'll just see where it comes out. Okay, I'm going to take a wild guess that this ridge we're looking at, that came down from the radio tower actually, is second finger. And this ridge over here is first finger. And the canyon between is, I think it is Skull Canyon or Cowboy Canyon. Probably Cowboy Canyon. So that's my best guess. We're continuing on this trail, outer perimeter of Blue Diamond Mountain public area, and we'll just see where it leads. And I'm thinking it should lead around the far side of this ridge that I was saying that may be first finger. So down we go. Just coming up to an intersection. This is a more outer trail. So that goes down from the lower radio tower. So had I stayed below the radio tower there when I was down there, maybe I would have circled around and ended up in this spot, which means maybe I'm on the SARS trail, and this trail here would be Cat in the Hat that has just joined us. But we don't know. We'll find out. Check the map out on the page that is linked from this video. Okay, quick note on where we are. There straight ahead is White Rock Mountain on the high side of Red Rock Canyon. And down in this direction, you see some glistening cars. That is Pine Creek Canyon. And that's the parking area, the trailhead that leads into Pine Creek Canyon, right in that area. So that's where we are. There's the Keystone Thrust Cliffs. Yeah, Keystone Thrust Cliffs. And the red rock that you see there is Calico Basin. I can see Craft Mountain. You got to kind of know it's there. It's that lighter red. And over here, Calico Hills. So that gives you an idea where we are. And that must be Cowboy Canyon that's below us. But maybe I'll figure it out and put some annotations on this video. And then looking back in this direction, you can see the two radio towers, lower and upper. There's lower. And here's upper. So that gives you an idea where we are now. Descending along what I believe is either the SARS Trail or the Cat in the Hat Trail. And when we hit close to the highway below, we'll be on the Kibbles and Bits Trail. Onward. Here's a pretty rugged canyon. Cowboy Canyon, Fossil Canyon, Skull Canyon. We don't know, but we'll find out. It's on the map. By the way, I've got every adventure on Las Vegas area trails mapped and integrated with the Google Maps system. So you can, no matter where you are in the world, you can find your way to the trailheads using that map system. Okay, let's take a look. We're seeing Red Rock Canyon Visitor Center down there. So we know we're heading in the right direction. It's just a matter of getting down there. And I imagine that there's a gradual way, which this trail is going to take me, that doesn't take me over the edge of one of those cliffs in the canyon. And a quick 360. That was Red Rock Canyon. This is one of the canyons on Blue Diamond Mountain. This is looking up the trail I've been coming down. These trails are very nice. But I guess they need to be if you're going to ride a mountain bike on them. There are a few places that I would not dare be on anything that has wheels because there are a few ledges there. But I guess depending on the level of mountain biking you have achieved, and maybe you can do that. Okay, onward. Okay, now I'm finding myself between two canyons. So we'll use this by way of figuring out where we're actually at. We may be on the First Finger Trail. We don't know. I'm still holding out for Cat in the Hat. We know we need to head down. And it's going to take us around over the top of this hill ahead and then down and around. So yeah, we'll find out. Here's the Red Rock Canyon Visitor Center. So lots of trail names around here, and of course none of them are marked. So you pretty much have to guess based on the lay of the land. With all the private planes above, it's sounding like an airport here. Rainbow Mountains. And the lighting is not good this time of day. We got better shots in the morning. Okay, onward. Descending rather rapidly between these two canyons, one on the left and the one on the right, and the Cowboy Horse Riding outfit is directly over that hill that's ahead. What I don't get is how I see bicycle tire tracks, and I totally don't get how anyone could ride a bicycle on this. But maybe if they've got a lot of experience and have good equipment, then it's possible. But wow, there are ledges here. Look at what I just came down. Can you imagine riding a bike down that? You might as well send it over the edge of a cliff. So anyway, yeah, looks like there are people that do it. Onward. Okay, now I think I'm on Bone Shaker. I didn't want to be on Bone Shaker today. Anyway, when I came up in the first place, I took that pathway below and then wound up to that point. You'll remember this formation. That's where we topped that ridge. So yeah, this is definitely not the outer perimeter. This is heading straight down the center, down the Bone Shaker, I think. Okay, let's continue. Okay, there's that Cowboy Horse Riding outfit. And here's the parking area where the beast is parked. Maybe you can see it. And we're on the home stretch. We just have a lot of switchbacks. Hopefully they've made this as gradual as possible, because it's definitely going down the side of this hill. And there's Red Rock Canyon, White Rock Mountain, Keystone Thrust Cliffs, Calico Hills. So there you have it. Okay, let's head down this, what I think is the Bone Shaker Trail. And there are those trails we ascended this morning. You can see them winding around, heading up the side of the hill. And continuing on to this high point where they top the hill. There's the pathway below. We're getting there. Okay, if these are ski slopes, or compared to ski slopes, what I came down just now, there's got to be black diamond. I think over 45% incline. Wow. We are nearing the bottom here. Then it's going to be an easy walk to the parking area. A lot of loose rock on these steep slopes. Been quite the exciting experience. I think it's pretty safe to say we missed Kibbles and Bits and the bunny route. Probably more like Bone Shaker. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll do this again and instead of a clockwise direction, do it in a counterclockwise direction and see if I can hit that wider perimeter that I missed. I cut straight through the center of Blue Diamond Hill and the canyons today. So yeah, we'll try this again. Okay, here we are at the Cowboy Horseback Riding outfit. Parking area is just beyond this. Like I said, next time I'm going to head in a counterclockwise direction and take it wide around these canyons. See if I can hit the upper radio tower and make a complete circuit. We made half a circuit today and then cut it right through the middle. And I'll have annotations on this video showing where we were, hopefully. So one thing I'd say about Blue Diamond Mountain area in review, awesome trails all around, every different level of difficulty you can imagine, and many ways to do either a complete circuit or cut it short. And there are definitely trails that have a, for the most part, except for Bone Shaker, they have a gradual enough grade that one could pretty easily run these. So walking, running, mountain biking, and some horseback. Great area. And here we are back at the Beast. Wow, even though it wasn't the complete circuit, I tell you, it was quite the long and varied experience. And looks like here's another direction, and I'm thinking this may be Bunny Trail and Kibbles and Bits and take you around the far side. So I'm gonna try this next time. But for now, back at the Beast.